The girl was in the middle of a photo shoot when she suddenly received a call from her ex-boyfriend. He told her that the colleague who had just been standing next to her had died in the hospital the night before. The girl's hair stood on end. How could that be possible? But as she carefully recalled the strange things about it, she gradually became convinced that she had truly encountered a ghost. The story begins with a mysterious photograph. While updating their maps, a surveying company accidentally captured an inexplicable paranormal image. They accidentally captured an inexplicable paranormal photograph. In the photo, a ghost-like figure stood eerily in the middle of a reservoir. Even stranger was the fact that Jack, the photographer, had also vanished. To quell public speculation, they decided to retake the photo. Just as everyone was exchanging bewildered glances, a girl named Annie stepped forward. She was the company's top producer. But she had one fatal weakness, an extreme fear of water. Her ex-boyfriend, upon hearing this, rushed over to dissuade her, but Anne immediately set off with her team. Soon, the vehicle arrived at the destination, only for the driver to accidentally hit something, and immediately got out to investigate and discovered a small tower built from stacked stones. Just then, a mysterious old woman emerged from the woods. She then took out a stone and told everyone they must make a wish facing the stone tower. Although Anne and her colleagues found it baffling, they had no choice but to comply to avoid trouble. Little did they know at that moment that this seemingly nonsensical act had quietly unleashed the reservoir's most vicious curse. After making their wishes, they began preparing to film. But they couldn't get a signal no matter what they tried. Just then, Jack, who had been missing for a long time, suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Jack's arrival was a huge relief to Anne. The team's technical issues were finally resolved, and wondered why Jack had suddenly gone missing earlier. But Jack avoided the subject, and sensed that Jack was acting very differently from before. But, eager to start filming, she didn't press him further. Soon, the shoot officially began, and was in charge of monitoring the rear, while her colleague Tom handled data collection. Unexpectedly, it wasn't long before Anne noticed something strange. A figure seemed to appear in the forest. But Tom insisted he didn't see a single shadow, and assumed she had simply seen things, and had no choice but to follow Tom's lead and continue filming. When Tom reached the edge of the reservoir, he was horrified to see a dark shadow flash by, but when he looked carefully, there was nothing there. Just as he turned around and saw this terrifying scene on the monitor, and immediately led a team to the scene, they found no sign of Tom, only a black mass in the water. But just as she moved closer, fortunately, Tom crawled out of the reservoir at that moment, though he was visibly terrified. Later, a colleague produced the object, and explained it was merely a ritual bowl. Although Tom calmed down, he still felt something was terribly off, and watched the footage closely. But Anna, standing behind her, explained that it was merely a soul-catching device used by sorcerers, yet and still felt uneasy, seeing that the sun was about to set, and the equipment was already damaged. She hurriedly called her supervisor to request postponing the shoot until the next day. However, her supervisor ordered her to complete the task today, because too many people had gone missing in that area recently. The group had no choice but to camp out there, and resume filming once the equipment arrived. While waiting for the equipment, the group returned to the spot where Tom had fallen.